How y'all doing? If you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. Doing 2 board games today, and we have the eternal question of, do I part this out or do I sell it as is with a 1986 original Mousetrap? We also got an indie game called Dixit, but we'll start with the Mousetrap. So I've been trying really hard not to bring in board games because I'm sick of storing them. However, I grabbed this, and for its age, the box is really good. And that's really the determining factor when I'm looking to decide if I'm going to bother to attempt to sell it whole. Now, you can see some creasing on the corners. This is from something being placed on it long term, and it kind of folded the lid in. So I gotta get the tape off. So it's kind of funny, like the life cycle of stuff at thrift shops is there's a sticker there that indicates it was for sale at a thrift shop. And then we got it at Goodwill, so there's another sticker. So somebody bought it, didn't do anything with it, or played it once, whatever, and they were done with it. And it went on. And it stops with me. I'm not dropping this at a thrift shop. We are parting this out or doing whole. And I'm really leaning towards parts, but I'm going to see what the inside looks like. And we're going to talk about the best parts of this game. And this one was $4. I usually don't pay that much for a game, but there are parts in Mousetraps that actually go for a significant amount of money. Alright, so now I have, oh, they taped it like the worst way possible. They did a long piece of tape rather than a short piece. Alright, we're gonna have to attack this. Alright, so we got all our tape off, so let's look inside. And so there are 3 pieces to this game that carry decent value: the diving man, the ball, and the cheese slices. Now, this is funny. When I'm doing this, I move board games around because I can't look inside, and I couldn't hear the ball rolling. It's because it was in the tub, so the tub was pinned and wasn't moving. So I did think about whether or not I was going to buy this, but oh, the ball bearing. I don't know if that really carries value, but we're gonna see if we got all the parts for it. First and foremost, we got a rubber band. It's all very important Mousetrap stuff. This was one of the more gimmicky games of my childhood. Everybody had this, everybody wanted it. But at the end of the day, when we talk about board games, is it collectible? Is it playable? It really wasn't playable. You had to put the whole thing together. Now, you're a kid. You don't sit still well. So you could shake this thing on accident, getting up from the table to get a soda, running around, whatever, and set the Mousetrap off prematurely. So it was not playable, but it's collectible now to a degree. It's not hugely collectible, but people do like to complete them. That's why I knew even just the cheese will pay for the $4. I don't know what the economy is on the cheese wedges right now. It was like $7 for 10 wedges at some point. So, we got some cheese. Look at the rubber band. Let's look at the board. You have the instructions. We got some more cheese. Looks like they took care of it, which for being third hand, because we know it was at another thrift store before this, It's pretty cool. So the board has a little bit of wear on the inside. Cheese slice. The board looks good. Not great. You can see where the stuff slots in. We have all the apparatus here. Balls and tubs don't go anywhere. So some of this stuff can break. This is fairly flimsy. The boot on the hole there. Looking for, there's a tab that a rubber band goes on that can break. The stop sign one, yeah, so that's okay. The teeth are all here on this, those can break. Tub. Well, the original plastic. It doesn't. We got the instructions, and they're a little beat up. Plastic baggie, another cheese. This looks complete. Now we most, we have the 4 mice. This might just come down to how much cheese we got. I'm forgetting how many. 30 cheeses. Let's count our cheese. Right, so sad news, but not really sad news because I didn't want to do it anyways. But I am missing a single piece of cheese. So of the 30, I got 29. So that means I have to list it as like 99% complete. So that's going to put me at a disadvantage selling it whole, and I didn't want to do it anyways. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at parts and get an idea of the parts out there. It is in very good shape. So we have 890 1986 mousetrap listings. So right away we got somebody selling 3 out of 4 mice. Now this is the going rate for the game in good condition is 35, which is why I would consider it. My rule is I have to make at least 5 times what I paid for it to consider selling it as is. I paid $4. And then we get worse quality boxes. So, all right, replacement cheese, 28 for 7. So, cheese economy is not great right now. We got the steel ball going for what it would cost to mail it to somebody. We have mousetrap, pick your own. So, I'm trying to avoid doing this. I want to stick with like good parts that go. You can just buy all the parts, but I hate doing this. It's just too much of a pain. Especially the 80s plastic is really flimsy. It's not going to ship well. So we got basically every part in the game listed out, but the ball historically and the cheese does well, and the diving guy. But I'm not liking the prices on diving guy either. So we're going to change this to parts. Now we got 300 parts. And then we're going to look at our sold listings and see what's going on with mousetrap parts. It's only 23. This isn't great. So we're going to have to be competitive with this stuff. So we got 4 mice. Somebody did that for 10. We got the 2 balls for 13. We got 2 more balls for like 13. Mice again. Mice. So the mice are going to go. The cheese isn't going to go. That's interesting. It used to be, oh, here we go. Here's some cheese. So what do? I will, much like this guy down here, I will sell the 4 mice plus the cheese. And I could probably get 10 for that. That's what I'm thinking. And then I will sell the balls, the 2 balls, I could probably get 10 for that. And the rest I'm just going to toss because I don't want to be dealing with it. But that right there makes a good listing. Paid for the game. Got me stuff that's fairly desirable, although now I'm seeing that in the last few years the parts market's cooled off for this, and that's a nostalgia collector thing. This, like I was saying, it's not really replayable. It wasn't a very good game, quite frankly. It was a gimmick, and it worked for, I got one for my birthday or Christmas, and so did everybody else, but people aren't looking to complete it. Domino Rally falls into this exact same category. Domino Rally just doesn't really move. It was too complicated. It's not replayable. So there's a collector's market, a little bit of a nostalgia market for that one as well. But, whatever. We did okay with this. So let's move on to Dixit. Alright, so this is Dixit. Don't know anything about this. Asmodee game, which they make a lot of popular indie board games. So the rule of indie board games is they always have this kind of textured box, and they always have somebody's name on them. And I don't know why, but that's just how it is. Paid $2 for it, so I know I'm not selling it as is because the box is missing an entire edge. So that's just going to make it difficult even just to ship it. So I looked up the game. Popular, it's a 50% sell-through rate and no parts for sale. So in the past, I did this with another game where there were no parts for sale because everybody's selling the game, trying to get max value. And I sold those parts almost immediately. What do we got? Got instructions, board game, game board, 84 cards, 36 tokens, 6 wooden rabbits. Okay. We're looking for, also got a hourglass, which wasn't listed, but whatever. We got some cards. Okay, so I guess this is the game board. It's actually like an insert. That was a bit odd. That's okay. So it's like that's the game board. It's actually kind of set into the box. All right, so we have cards. We have 84 cards to look at. Oh, it's like a piece mixed in. So I'm not going to really get into what this is because it doesn't matter. But nice artwork. Actually, I think I have seen this. Something about like a memories game. Storyteller image. So I'm going to count up all this stuff here. Alright. And those are the pieces to the game, and we got everything. We got 6 wooden rabbits. We have the voting pieces, 36 of those, and we have the 84 cards. So this is the game. Whole bunch of expansion packs for it. So it has to be fairly popular, right? But nobody sells parts. So that's where we're going to come in. So getting an idea of what this goes for, I have the original game. So go by the front. The book. The guy flying on it. So that would be not the one with the ship, but this one. So there are a lot of expansions. So we got like in the 20s on that. Just obviously there's a lot of this, you know, a Disney version. That there was quite a bit of hype for this game. Perhaps Asmodee does a lot of games that seem to do well. You know, now we're getting up into the 30s, but nobody sells parts. What do I sell? Looking at that. If I sell anything else, I guess I'll pack it up. But so here's our sold. It's not half. I thought it was half. It's more like 30%, but that's fantastic for a board game. So we have no parts. We have to figure out, okay, what's the worst condition one that was sold? Because you could assume it was sold for parts. You can make the assumption, whatever. So what can we get away with on parts for this? And I'm thinking, because it goes for a premium, and if you really want to get it or repair yours, you don't have an option. So I'm thinking 15. And worst case scenario, you know, I talk about this at times. You review what you're selling, go through, kind of look at some listings that have been lagging. Sometimes I'll put in a keyword, intentionally vague, so I can get an idea of what's been sitting. I can look at my watchers and my views. And if there's no watchers and no views on something, and you listed it knowing that it sells, that means you've priced yourself out. Nobody's looking at it. You got to reduce price, package it a different way, whatever. So I'm going to do 15 on this. Yeah, in worst case scenario, I got it for $2. So it's not going to cost a lot to ship. But that'll get us about there. So not a stellar pickup necessarily. I got 3 listings out of it though. And stuff that'll move. I mean, I did sell something. It could have been Mousetrap. Who knows? Actually, I'm just going to look just because it would be kind of funny if it was. While I'm doing this, what did I sell while we were talking? I don't want to dox people. Yeah, I better take that off actually. Just in case. Ugh. We sold a VTech train. Whatever. That's good money. $20. But yeah. If you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.